Have you ever wondered what others truly think? In the path of Buddhism and Zen, perception and empathy are essential tools that help us connect with the world around us in a deeper and more meaningful way. These practices not only teach us to live in the present moment, but also to understand the subtleties of the human heart and mind. The art of mind reading is not about magic or divination. It's a skill cultivated through conscious observation and interpretation of body language and gestures. These non-verbal elements can reveal emotions and thoughts that words sometimes cannot express. By learning to read these subtle signals, we can enhance our relationships and develop greater empathy towards others. On this journey we'll embark on together. We'll explore how the teachings of Buddhism and Zen can guide us to better understand the people around us. Through concrete practices and examples, we'll invite you to look beyond the apparent, to connect heart to heart, and to discover the profound interconnection we all share. Welcome to the fascinating world of reading minds through body language and gestures. Diving deeper into the art of understanding others, we encounter specific techniques that allow us to interpret gestures, postures, and facial expressions. These techniques are not just methods for deciphering a secret code, but pathways to deepen our connection and understanding of the people around us. For instance, a nod may indicate interest or agreement, while crossed arms might signal a defensive or closed attitude. One of the most crucial skills in this learning is the practice of mindfulness. This means being fully present in the moment, observing without judgment. When interacting with others, it's vital to pay attention not only to what is said, but also to how it's said. The way someone avoids eye contact or how their hands move while speaking can provide insights into their true feelings or intentions. To develop this awareness, one can begin by observing others in everyday situations, such as conversations with friends or work meetings. You'll notice how a smile can be genuine or forced, revealing joy or concealing discomfort. Open postures might indicate readiness and acceptance, while closed or hunched postures can suggest the opposite. However, it's crucial to remember that body language is not universal. What may be a sign of respect in one culture could be interpreted very differently in another. Therefore, it's important to consider the context and the individuality of each person when analyzing these gestures and postures. Additionally, empathy plays a fundamental role in this process. Trying to put oneself in the other's shoes and understand their perspective can help correctly interpret their non-verbal signals. After all, the goal is not to judge or analyze coldly, but to connect more authentically and understandingly. In summary, reading body language and gestures requires practice, patience, and an open mind. It's a continuous journey of learning and discovery, where each interaction offers the opportunity to better understand others and, in turn, ourselves. With each gesture interpreted and each posture understood, we move a little closer to the true empathic understanding that is central in the path of Buddhism and Zen. On the other hand, Buddhist and Zen teachings constantly remind us of the intrinsic connection between mind and body, a fundamental principle also reflected in the art of reading body language. This ancient wisdom teaches us that to truly understand someone, we must observe both their physical actions and their inner state. Here, the key is not just to observe, but also to understand and connect. One of the primary strategies for improving the ability to read people is to develop patience. In our fast-paced world, we often want immediate answers and quick conclusions. However, body language is subtle and complex. It takes time to observe and understand correctly. Patience allows us to step back, observe carefully, and let understanding emerge naturally. Non-judgmentalness is another crucial quality. In Zen, we are encouraged to experience reality as it is, without prejudice or assumptions. When reading body language, this means not jumping to conclusions based on our own experiences or biases. Each person is unique, and their gestures can have very different meanings. Approaching each situation with an open mind allows for true understanding and avoids misunderstandings. Empathic understanding, meanwhile, invites us to tune in to the feelings and thoughts of others. It's not just about interpreting gestures, but about feeling what the other person is experiencing. This not only improves our ability to read people, but also deepens our relationships, creating a bridge of understanding and compassion between us and others. However, on this path, it's easy to fall into common mistakes. One is overconfidence in our ability to read people. Sometimes, we might think we fully understand what another is feeling or thinking, but there are always nuances and depths that may escape our understanding. Keeping an open and receptive mind helps us stay aware of this reality and encourages us to continue learning and adapting. Another mistake is over-interpreting. Sometimes a gesture is just a gesture and doesn't carry a hidden meaning. Learning to discern when body language is significant and when it's not is crucial to avoid misunderstandings and confusions. Finally, it's important to remember that reading body language is only a part of understanding others. It should be complemented with active listening and effective communication. Combining these skills allows for a more complete and nuanced understanding of those around us, opening doors to richer and more meaningful relationships. Constant practice, guided by the teachings of Buddhism and Zen, brings us ever closer to this subtle but powerful skill. Deep within the ancient wisdom of Buddhism and Zen lies a tale passed down from generation to generation. This story offers not just a lesson about perception and understanding, but also illustrates how a Zen master can read the minds of their disciples through observation and empathy. This tale unfolds in a tranquil monastery in the mountains, a place where the wind carries the echo of the Dharma and leaves whisper secrets of enlightenment. The protagonist of our story is a revered Zen master known for his deep wisdom and insight. He didn't just teach the sutras and mediate disputes, but was also renowned for his ability to understand the hearts and minds of his students. He did this not through any mystical power, but through keen observation and a profound understanding of human nature. His monastery was a refuge for many spiritual seekers, each carrying their own burdens and seeking answers to their deepest questions. Among these seekers, 3 disciples stood out for their dedication and unique desires for spiritual growth. The first, Shen, was known for his quick mind and insatiable thirst for knowledge. However, behind his curious gaze and swift responses lay a restlessness, a sea of questions and doubts that kept him awake at night. The second disciple, Liang, was the embodiment of diligence. His movements were measured, his practices disciplined, but in the stillness of his meditation he struggled with a storm of uncertainty and fear. The third, Mei, was a gentle and compassionate soul whose presence was like a soothing balm. But behind her serene smile, she hid a deep sadness, a wound from the past that had not yet healed. The master, aware of his disciples' inner struggles, decided to undertake a journey with them, a journey not just through the forest surrounding the monastery, but also through the depths of their hearts and minds. "Let us walk together," he said, "and as we do, observe everything around and within you. The world is a mirror of our mind." As they walked, the master watched closely. He saw not just the steps they took, but also how they breathed, the way their eyes moved, the subtle gestures that revealed their most intimate thoughts. Shen walked with quick steps, always looking ahead as if chasing some elusive truth just beyond the horizon. Liang followed with a steady pace, but his shoulders were tense, as if he carried the weight of the world on them. Mei, with every step, seemed to absorb the beauty of the surroundings, but her pauses were long, and her gaze often lost in the distance. Upon reaching a clearing in the forest, the master sat down and asked each of the disciples to sit in front of him. "Now," he said, "close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let your thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. Do not cling to them. Just observe them." As the disciples followed his instructions, the master continued observing, not just their external expressions, but also tuning into their energies, feeling the vibrations of their emotions and thoughts. After some time in silence, the master began to speak. Addressing Shen first, he said, "Your mind is quick and sharp, like an eagle in the sky. But even the eagle must descend to the earth to live. You must learn to calm your mind, not to constantly seek answers, but to live the questions. Only then will the answers you seek emerge from the silence of your being." Then he turned his gaze toward Liang and spoke with a soft yet firm voice. "Your dedication is admirable, and your practice is solid. However, true practice is not a burden you must carry, but a path you must walk with lightness. Free yourself from your fears and doubts. Trust in the path you have chosen, and it will lead you not just to enlightenment, but also to peace. Finally, he addressed May, whose eyes were now filled with silent tears. Your heart is large and full of love, but also of pain. You cannot fully heal until you confront the source of your sadness. Look within yourself, accept your pain, and then let it go. Only then will you experience the true freedom and joy that your practice can offer. The disciples, deeply moved by the Master's words, opened their eyes. They looked at each other, not with the usual superficiality, but truly seeing each other for the first time. They understood that the Master had not just read their gestures and postures, but had seen through them to their true natures. The journey back to the monastery was different. They walked not just as students following a master, but as beings who had glimpsed the depths of their own souls. Shen walked more slowly, observing every leaf and every stone, experiencing each moment. Liang moved with a new lightness, as if he had left his heavy burden behind. And May, though there was still sadness in her eyes, there was also a spark of hope, a light that hadn't been there before. In the weeks and months that followed, the change in the three disciples was noticeable. Shen found peace in stillness, Liang found confidence in his path, and May found the strength to face and heal her pain. The Master watched them, knowing that their journey had not ended but had taken a new beginning. His role as a teacher was not to provide all the answers, but to guide his disciples to discover their own truths. This tale, like many in the Buddhist and Zen traditions, does not end with a definitive conclusion. Instead, it invites us to reflect on our own quest for understanding and connection. It reminds us that reading the minds and hearts of others is not an act of divination, but one of understanding, empathy, and love. It encourages us to observe not just with our eyes but also with our hearts, and to recognize that, in the depths of our being, we are all connected in this beautiful and complex dance of life. On this journey together, we have delved into the depths of body language and the mind through the lens of Buddhism and Zen. We've discovered that beyond simple gestures, there's a world of non-verbal communication, waiting to be understood with compassion and mindfulness. Each person we meet is an open book, filled with stories told not with words, but with whispers of their being. I hope this journey has provided you with tools and insights to enrich your daily interactions and has inspired you to look beyond the obvious towards a deeper and more empathetic understanding of those around you. If you found value in this content and wish to continue exploring and growing, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here we will continue sharing teachings and reflections that illuminate our path towards a more conscious and connected life. Thank you for being here, for your time and your presence. May wisdom and peace accompany you at every step of your journey. Don't forget to activate notifications to stay up to date with new videos. Until next time, may your path be filled with discoveries and inner peace.